Hi, this is Anna Imagination. It is December 5th, Tuesday, 2023, 9:53 p.m. All right. I've accumulated all of case study one's symptoms and just assessing and accumulating data. The initial stress started at 8:21 a.m. this morning. She also had a final exam today, and my biggest concern is the pathological laughter. It was right after she said the statement about her abuser. It was the first time she said it out loud and articulated precisely what type of an abuser he was, that she burst into laughter, pathological laughter. And it was literally about 2 seconds into that she suddenly cut off the laughter, and she changed the subject completely, literally as if her memory had been wiped, because it had been by her subconscious mind. So I accumulated these questions to figure out why. Why would it change its behavior? Why would she not remember? Why would she not be allowed to remember the events? Now, Occam's razor. She would not be allowed to remember the events because it was too dangerous to remember. So clearly, the subconscious mind thought that her remembering would somehow be unsafe for her. That is normal, classic subconscious mind. It's actually the first defense of the subconscious mind is amnesia. Why would it not assume its usual behavior of amnesia, however, with the pathological laughter? That's what's got me stumped. Occam's razor, why would it not assume its usual behavior? Because it did not feel the need to. There you go. It did not feel the need to. Feel the need to. Which assumes a subconscious mind can feel. That way, it would be able to make a deduction on whether or not a certain action was appropriate or not. Which means that the subconscious mind, in order to deduce what it deduces, has to feel. Interesting. Why was she laughing? Defense. Occam's razor. She was laughing to feel safe. She asked questions like, why am I laughing? And that expressed pathological laughter because it was highly inappropriate what she was laughing at. She is still displaying pathological laughter at 9:57 p.m. So it's been 2 hours now, and she is still showing pathological laughter. Why would it allow the identity and conscious awareness freedom? Occam's razor, because they were not a threat. That is the best cut dry Occam's razor I can think of, because they were not a threat. Usually, in fact, every time the identity and the conscious awareness is suppressed, it is because they pose a threat. So a lesser action was needed than usual. So, what I exhibited tonight, what she exhibited, what I witnessed tonight was a level 1 defense response. I have never seen a level 1 defense response in a trauma patient. In fact, all we display is levels 3 and 4. By the time you go to therapy, you're at level 3 or 4 of trauma response. The levels go like this. Level 1 is amnesia. That is when you begin to exhibit signs of memory loss. And if that doesn't work, then you get the invasive perspective. That's when you get the behavioral defenses and the mental illnesses. The third is multiple personality disorder. And the fourth is dissociation, full shutdown. That's comatose and a vegetable state, like what you see in the mental institutions. So those are the 4 stages of trauma. Now, I do not know if patients experience multiple personality first and then move on to significant comatose vegetable dissociation, or if they bypass multiple personalities. Now, multiple personality disorder is only in individuals who were significantly abused at a young age. So you're never going to see multiple personality disorder in an individual who was never traumatized at an early age. It's almost as if it were a child's trauma response. So it is possible to go from the second level of the trauma response, trauma stage of mental illness and perspective abuse or invasive perspectives, and jump over multiple personality and go into vegetable comatose of dissociation. That's possible. So, basic amnesia is stage level 1. Now, if you have experienced severe trauma, you are in stage levels 3 and 4. Well, 2, 3, and 4. That's when you're in therapy, is you're at 2, 3, and 4. She had severe trauma, but she displayed a level 1 defense response. Occam's razor. Most simplest explanation, which is why it's an anomaly, is because I've never seen a person with severe trauma have a basic level 1 defense response, which is phenomenal. It means that that's just it. There was no dissociation. I think what I witnessed tonight was just a level 1 defense response in somebody who usually exhibits level 2 defense responses. And that's what threw me off. I was like, what is this? I still can't comprehend the pathological laughter. She did take Benadryl this morning, but that was this morning at, when did she take the Benadryl? She took the Benadryl at 8:21 a.m. So TBI. I asked her if she had any severe brain injury, and she was not able to answer because her childhood is filled with medical neglect. So she doesn't know if she was ever exposed to a severe brain injury. But I have not seen her ever exhibit pathological laughter until tonight. And only specifically in response to this statement she made about her abuser out loud, and then instantly it turned it on. Now, here we are 3 hours later, and she is still experiencing pathological laughter. Pathological laughter is a basic Not let's take it out of the pathological liar TBI response, which is where you get into neuroscience and medicine. If you look at just basic, the reason why a person would laugh is it is a defense mechanism. It's the if I laugh at this, then people will think that I'm okay. It's another level 1 response. So it's the other thing that comes to mind is why was her identity and conscious awareness allowed their freedom? Because they were not threatened, which means that they're basically allowed to be out. It's safe to be out now. Why would it change? Occam's razor. Why would its behavior change? Because the circumstances changed. So the question is, what were the circumstances that made it change? Based on my recent research and documentation, we've resolved her PTSD. Now, she had one person, she had 4 trigger responses today. Well, she had 4 separate situations today that normally would have sent her into a PTSD spiraling episode. None of those things happened today. In fact, she set her boundaries first thing this morning. I think I'm just flabbergasted that she's exhibiting phenomenal signs of being okay, aside from the amnesia, which is just a level 1 defense response. She started off the day with problem solving where she normally would panic. She problem solved instead of panicked. And then later, she was in a situation that normally would have set her into a full trigger, and she took care of it. She got up and she asserted herself and used a boundary. And then by 3:30 today, she had an incident with somebody who she has a restraining order against, and he violated the restraining order, and she took care of it. And then if I were to just bluntly exhibit or say what she was exhibiting is she was using her boundaries actually phenomenally today. And I was on standby the entire day, like, are you all right? And this is all while she had a final exam in college and while she was sick with a fever. So she woke up this morning with a sore throat fever. She had a final exam today in college. She had 4 different situations that normally would have spiraled her into a massive panic attack and PTSD episode, and instead she used her boundaries for each one of those cases. Maybe I just can't explain the pathological laughter. That's the one thing that I'm just not able to figure out, but she handled it phenomenally. And as a result, her subconscious mind is giving her a level 1 defense response instead of a level 3 or a full dissociative episode, which tells me she's very much well on her way to being perfectly fine because she had 4 incidences today of going into an episode and she still isn't acting like she's triggered. But I'm still sitting here going, then why is she not remembering? Because of level 1 defense response. Why the pathological laughter? Okay. Now, she has some people pleasing left over, and the pathological laughter might be connected to that. That would make sense. If the people pleasing leads to The laughter. That would make sense. Okay. All right. And then the amnesia just might be a basic overload between her fever, being sick, the stress, definitely high stress today. And then she had the final exam. So she was under significant stress today. But no PTSD episodes, no nothing, no trigger. If anything, she just stepped up and used her boundaries 4 times today. It was extraordinary to watch. Okay. She is definitely behaving very well. She's safe. She's okay. The psychologist did get back to me. I do feel much better being in touch with her. So, all right. All right.